What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Code, DC, UPenn's finest, Chris Coulter, CB Coach Boy. Got another great episode for you guys today. We will be talking a little bit about March Madness Day 1. I think it's safe to say that Chris is probably the only expert here, and I think Danny knows a little bit more about college basketball than me as well. But we'll talk about our brackets. We'll talk about some of the upsets. And then the big thing is we'll be making a list of 5 players who we believe will benefit the most from an NBA championship this year. A spoiler, all my players are ringless. I don't know about these guys, but we'll talk all about that later. But before we get into anything, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications so you don't miss a single upload for any of the great shows on the network. And audio listeners, make sure you leave a like, follow, 5-star review, download the episode, all that good stuff. But let's send it over to Clearwater for Summits and Plummets.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, Clearwater and Fresh
James pitch tomorrow. That's yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
they play.
We're going to see Pirates. No, we're seeing the Pirates play who play Blue Jays. I think I don't know. No, play Orioles. No. Yeah. Yeah, no plummets.
If you have a plummet down there, we deserve to switch spots.
It's actually not that warm down there, surprisingly.
It's like in the 70s?
Like mid-60s?
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Nah, that ain't horrible. It's kind of chilly up here today, actually. I put on shorts assuming it would be okay, and now I'm kind of like, still going to roll with the shorts because of the turf burn, but we can go to Chris for his summits and plummets.
It's a nice crisp 54 down here right now. For everybody who thinks Dallas is always hot, wrong. It's not. It just doesn't work like that. It's not how it works. It's 54 degrees right now. It is supposed to get to 75, but it is 54, so I want you to know it does get chilly here. But I think I have all summits. Summit, kind of plummet, but Summit. I got to watch my old school in the tournament. That was cool to see. That was cool to see everybody supporting. And then they had like a big watch party at the Vidal Bean Center, which we used to play our games at. So it's dope just to see. The city has me excited because Edwardsville isn't the most fun place in the world. It's smashed in between like Springfield and Belleville. Belleville is where Ezekiel Elliott went to high school at, though. So that's like kind of claim to fame there. But yeah, so that was cool to watch them play. They got spanked. That was cool. And then I think my other summit is I'm seeing my mom today. I'm excited about that. I'm seeing her today. She's coming down from Mansfield, which is like 45 minutes away. It's not really that far, but she's coming down. She's gonna stay the night with us here because she has something to do closer to us. So we're gonna go out to dinner tonight and stuff. So I'm just excited to see her. I haven't seen her in a few weeks. And yeah, so double summits on this Friday. I can't give any plummets on the Friday. That Friday, that's bad juju.
Yeah, that could be bad juju. Now the pressure's on me. We'll talk, about March Madness, but it's always a summit to have March Madness in town.
Martin Madness and Madness.
Yeah. But of course, it's always great to have March Madness. A little upset, I thought Temple was very much on the way to a potential at-large bid.
Clemson.
Yes, that is true. I thought Temple might have been on the pace for an at-large bid, or even winning the American.
Mm-hmm.
But when Jamal Mashburn went down, it sucked because he was kind of like, oh, maybe he's back this game, maybe he's back this game, but it was without him, the offense was just too inconsistent, so that kind of sucks. But I still love March Madness for what it is. And other summit is Cooper Flagg is gonna play, which I said on last episode. I thought he could have kind of been in like have your uniform on, but have street clothes over it. Don't really prepare to get in this game, but he's gonna play, and I guess I could say I like that though. He's someone who's been very vocal about the chance of maybe even returning, which I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt. But he loves Duke, he loves college basketball, and I like that. It's good for the sport. All the top guys are going to be coming from the NCAA for the most part. So very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. But we can get into the actual tournament now. And the reason why I said like air quotes upsets is because I feel as if everything that was predicted, like every upset that happened, everyone was kind of like, yeah, that's an upset waiting to happen. Like, well, one that didn't happen was Yale did not beat Texas A&M. So Danny, you can shove it.
It was closer than you think.
Hey, was it an upset? No. The boys took care of business. Of course, McNeese ruined like one of my best brackets. Let's see. Louisville Creighton obviously ruined a lot of brackets, I'm sure. Well, Michigan did beat UC San Diego. That was a really good game, though.
Yeah.
That
The
was
ACC
another
was
12.
trash this year. People just didn't know because everybody played it, only really paid attention to Cooper Flag, which obviously makes sense. ACC was boo-boo. So I think, low-key, even though it was a upset, I think the McNeese State one was probably the one that people may have thought about the most, just because, like I said, Clemson was they were good in the ACC, but the ACC was bad, just like Louisville. Like I had Creighton all the way because I thought Kalkbrenner would give them more of an issue.
I agree.
Yeah, but Louisville just doesn't have, outside of Chucky, they kind of really have a lot of creators. And it's a team like Creighton that's coached by the great Doug McDermott's dad, Greg McDermott. You gotta be prepared. So that was, like you said, upsets.
That's not even an upset. Creighton's a better team.
Even though Arkansas, Kansas, people said that was an upset. Arkansas is just better than Kansas. Hunter Dickinson is not good at college basketball. He's been there a long time. He's not good. But Arkansas has all the Kentucky kids plus John Calipari. I don't. It looks like upset on paper, but DJ Wagner tournament.
Calipari versus Rick Pitino.
It's on the way.
Yeah, that's a good old East versus West Side story, or underground battle for the girl type of thing.
Yeah, this is Aura. This is you guys serve when Sonny switched. this is you guys serve. This is an Aura matchup alone. Calipari.
And then another upset that happened that a lot of people were kind of like was Drake beat Missouri, and now I can't say I picked Drake to win because of stats and nonsense. I picked Drake to win their first round game every year because they're called Drake. So I can't really pat myself on the back. I can just say that, Drake's aura helped them win.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
They'll be seeing Texas Tech in the round of 32,
which is not bad. They can get another one.
I don't like that.
It's not ridiculous to say that. It's not ridiculous to say that. However, if they win, they got to play the winner of Arkansas and St. John's. So
unfortunately, we wish they could have.
That's where it would end. But
cool. Let me tell you, St. John's shoots like that. I don't think they can win. So they can't win. They don't have to make the Final Four. They can't shoot 28% from the field. From three. Sorry.
Yeah. But I will say, Danny, college is one of the only places you can get away with shooting sub 30% and winning games. But I agree with you, especially in the tournament.
No team's ever shot under 32% from three and won the national championship.
Yeah, I think it'll be trouble though, because at some point teams will just zone them, and just make them shoot threes, and then we'll see what happens there. I'm excited to see this next round though, because I think it's a lot of like Drake. The reason Drake wanted to have a flamethrower, like and in college, Danny, as you know, anybody who watches the tournament, if your flamethrower gets hot over 2-3 games, you damn near could run off, a couple. Because if you can get to 70 first, literally. That's how he got to the NBA. He literally was undrafted, then out of nowhere, shot up the boards because he had a great 4 games in March.
Yeah. Let's talk about it while we're at it. UNC getting into the tournament, do we really care, or is it like there's 64 teams? You should really be able to make your case like through a regular season.
Yeah, I think they kind of got in off name a little bit. Because, it's UNC. And they had they had one quadrant win that mattered for real. But I think it's just the aura of UNC. Like, if it's a way to get them in, you get them in. But it's some other schools that have an argument. But again, sometimes aura and prestige get you in some of these things sometimes. Fair or not, it's kind of just what it is.
Isn't it some like UNC's AD or something like that is like the chairman of the selection committee, and he allegedly has no say in whether they get in, but of course he did. However, North Carolina is a talented enough team where it's like, I don't think you'll regret letting them in unless they get absolutely smoked.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which I don't think they will.
They won their first 4 game by like 25 points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they dominated their bubble team. Absolutely.
They can make
they play Ole Miss today. SEC's been the best basketball conference in the country this year. I think it's pretty fair to say with their 14 teams.
14.
Yeah, they lost football and they said, all right, we're basketball.
Yep. And honestly, fair trade, I say.
Shout out to
because
NIL.
SEC basketball schools are lit. So they play Ole Miss today, which I mean, like 11-6 matchup, that could be a good one. Like I really do. And if Carolina wins, they automatically shut up anything about like they shouldn't have been allowed in because
it's upset.
I think Ole Miss.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, I have a couple different brackets where I have going, a different way. But you know what? I'm gonna stand on UNC then. I'll stand on UNC because I don't like there's 64 teams where you could just get in. I do think West Virginia was snubbed though. Let me put it that way. Yep. But there's some interesting ones today that I do want to talk about. Let's start with Colorado State and Memphis. This is a 12-5 matchup that a lot of people have been looking at. Memphis, obviously they have one of the top scorers in the country in PJ Haggerty, also along with Tyrese Hunter, and then Colorado State. They got a couple guys of their own, but Chris, who did you have in this 12-5 matchup?
I'm going with Penny in Memphis. PJ Haggerty is the best scorer in the country. He's a real bucket, and I think, but this is the scary thing about March Madness. Like your best guy, like for Yale, he was terrible in the first half, terrible, and that's why the game got away at a point because like if you can't get your guy going, especially if you're kind of dependent on that one guy, it could be tough. But I think PJ Haggerty's experienced enough and understands the moment to where I think he'll get Memphis going enough, and I believe in Penny and what he's done. Colorado State's a really good team though. I think you rattled off a couple names, but as a team, like they're a really good team, and sometimes team outweighs player in March Madness. But I'll take the player over the team at this point. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, I'm going PJ Haggerty and Memphis because, like I said, it's just hard to stop him from scoring. He has so many ways, 3 levels. He can get it any way. He can get his own shot. He gets others involved. I just really like him as a player, so I'm gonna give him an air. I think it's a close one though, really close one.
Yeah, and another game that could be on potential upset watch is Xavier, Illinois. Now, the only reason I even say that is because Xavier there's one of my favorite creators, Pierre. He has a hashtag called Tourney Made, and it's kind of just like guys who are just built to be college basketball stars. Like Carson Edwards was Tourney Made. We know that. And Jamal Mashburn would have been so Tourney Made. That's the worst part. But Xavier just as a team is Tourney Made. Not that they're going to go win the national championship or anything, but it's like, Xavier. Like,
it's one of those teams you don't want to play. You don't want to see.
You don't want to play them. They're not going to go, beat Duke and go win the national title. But like, dang, like that's my first round pull. It's pretty disappointing. And I would say them as a group, they shoot 39% from 3. They get to the line at a pretty good rate. They move the ball. They get a lot of assists. It's not necessarily something you want to look forward to if you're, the Fighting Illini.
It sums up. That's experience. It's just experience. They're an older team. All the things you said, moving the ball well, shooting threes, getting to the line, paint touches, all those are things that just scream experience. And U of I's are younger. Well, their better guys are younger. So I think this could be a trap-ish game for U of I, just because you have an experience, your team experience, coach experience, everything. And sometimes, out of all the things I just said, experience is the thing that wins out. And being in these games and being in these places. So I can see that Xavier U of I game not going well. And U of I lost their best player from last year, Coleman Hawkins. But they still have hoopers, obviously. But I don't know. I think losing some of that experience is going to hurt them. I would take Xavier if I was like betting it or whatever. I would take Xavier.
Let's say I'm checking my best bracket now, aka the bracket with the most points left. I do have Xavier winning in this one.
U of I has 2 prospects though, 2 draft prospects in this game. If you're looking forward to June draft coming up, Sarunas, I cannot say his last name to save my life. but he's pretty good. And Jovic, Eiovic. They're pretty good. They're 2 draft prospects. Sarunas is someone with a J at the end, but he's like lottery projected. Really big guard, pretty good. So he's a player to watch today if you're looking forward to that draft in June.
Unfortunately, this little tournament is not about the draft prospects, but it's actually about the mid-major 6'5" guard who's going to light you up for 35 and send you packing.
Yep. And then
This tournament isn't about Cooper Flag. He needs to stand down.
It's not. It's
See,
about
look. Ace Bailey. He knew his role. He's like, you know what? I've been dropping 25 all year. I'm just going to sit this out. I don't need no tournament.
Him and Dylan said, we're top 5.
We top 3. We're good. We'll be good. We're gonna be okay.
You know, I want to see though. I want to see VJ Edgecombe bad.
Yeah,
I want to see him bad because he's a tourney made type of guy. He's built for it. Like
I could definitely see that. Ever since him and Coop played in high school, because it's going up against Cooper Flag isn't necessarily sunshine and rainbows, but VJ brought the juice, man. He really did.
Yeah, VJ's. I love him.
Danny, is there any other upsets or games that you're looking forward to? I mean, Oklahoma, UConn could be one because,
I think Vanderbilt. Yeah. I think Vanderbilt's gonna beat us. St. Mary.
Okay.
100% agree.
Let me see. I'm gonna check my.
If you watch Vanderbilt this year, they have a lot of size. I think size really matters in this NCAA tournament.
Yeah, size is going to matter. Yeah. I would say it's not like either of these teams shoot the lights out either, so that size could be the direct difference.
Why do you think the Purdue is good with Zach Edey?
Literally.
Because Zach Edey was big as hell.
Nice.
and had a post hook.
Look at Creighton from yesterday. Even though Cockburn didn't score a bunch of points, they couldn't get anything in the paint. Chucky Hepburn, if he couldn't get that little 15-footer off, nothing was at the basket. They couldn't get any rebounds.
USF was good with Taco Fall.
Yes.
And he's not a good basketball player. He's a bad basketball player.
Okay, Taco was actually bad, but like Zach Edey was like truthfully the best player in the country.
But USF was solid with Taco Fall.
They were.
They did give Duke a run for their money, but I have to say with that Duke team though, that's why I wanted to bring up this Duke team this year and that Duke team. They're so unbelievably different because they're that old Duke team was obviously stacked with talent. Trey Jones, Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett, Zion. But this team is so much more well-rounded. And the best player is a complete Swiss Army knife, and he's an excellent all-around defender. Not saying Z wasn't, but Z wasn't, sliding those feet. And on top of that, he wasn't a great shooter either. Not saying, Cooper Flag's been out of this world, but he's a threat.
But also, Cooper and Flag has shooting around him too, and Zion
and that too.
Like that, it wasn't.
It makes the whole team so much more dangerous. So that's why, like the Duke team is young, but like not at the same time. Like these are just a bunch of really smart players, and I heard their coach was a dog.
Oh, give me 2 minutes, y'all. I bet.
Go ahead, because that's why I brought it up because I figured
John Shai. Watch that Pat Bev clip from the podcast. He's not telling a lie. So John Shai went to Glenbrook North. Glenbrook North is in Illinois, but it's not in Chicago. It's not. It's at least an hour and 10-minute drive. It's far. John Shai run Mr. Illinois over players that were elite. They were NBA players as well. John Shai was the best basketball player in high school for that 4-year span, like freshman year on. He was the best player, best shooter. He scored 27 points in 32 seconds. 21 points, 32 seconds. That's a fact. To win the game, that's a fact. That's a stone cold fact. And you can find. I'm gonna find it. And I'm gonna send it to y'all. It's a stone cold fact. He won Gatorade Player. Like he was the guy. That's why when he was at Duke, he was the guy. He was JJ Redick all over again. John Shai was so good. And the messed up part, legally blind now, because of Joe Ingles. Joe Ingles poked John Shai in the eye in the summer league game, knocked him out. And he couldn't play basketball anymore because he's legally blind. But John Shai is one of the best high school players ever. Really good college player as well. John Shire is the man in Illinois. If you ever bring up, it's of my time, even though John Shire was a little before me, I was still pretty young. Derrick Rose, John Shire, Jabari Parker, Ronnie Fields, Those are names that people would never discount if you put them in your top 3 or 5 in the whole Illinois history. They were never discounted because they were that good. Josh Harden was that good. And people just know him as a coach now. He was that good, y'all. He was that good. I promise you. He was that good.
I didn't know the Joe Ingles part.
Joe Ingles is never good in my book. Even though he is
He's never good in your book.
He's never good in my book. He ruined Josh Shire's starts his career. Like literally, Josh Hart to get a chance to play a game in the NBA because I think it was the second summer league game. Gets his eye poked out, and he had to get airlifted from the summer league game to get his eye fixed. He couldn't even go to a regular hospital. Had to go get airlifted to another hospital. Crazy story. But John Shire knows, and there's a couple of videos of him shooting after practice for Duke. He just casually makes 15, 23s in a row. He was just a guy. Shout out John Shire, for real.
Yo, I was saying, can I plug a late Plummet?
Oh,
or a late Summit. Sorry, but my editor just sent me something, and he wants us to apply for credentials for Phillies games this year. Now, he said we won't catch every game. I said, son, I will go to every game. I will be there. Every home game, you'll find me. I'll be there. I will cover this team. And Danny knows I'm very critical of the Philadelphia Phillies. So there's no bias at all, of course. Unless Bryce Harper's up the bat. Nah, I'm just playing. But
yeah, you got my son Bryson Stott. That's my guy. I'm good with him.
Everybody loves Bryson Stott around here. Stotty too hotty.
That's my guy.
But anything else we want to bring up from the tournament? Any of the second round games that we're excited for? McNeese gets to see Purdue. We obviously have Calipari and Patino. Michigan, Texas A&M, a battle of two frauds potentially.
Mm-hmm.
A fraud off to make the Sweet 16.
Yes, a fraud off.
Fraud off.
All I gotta say is, whoever's playing Gonzaga and UConn, good luck.
It's Houston Gonzaga. And Houston has been, I think, the one seed that everyone's been looking at strictly because of who they're gonna have to play in the second round. It's Gonzaga. So
I'm gonna say this about Houston though. One thing that travels in the tournament is defense. And even if they can't score, they will be able to defend. So I'm looking forward to that Houston, that matchup second round too. But
I think it's gonna be greatness.
Houston can defend, and I think that's Kelvin Sampson, one of the greatest coaches. But I think Houston defends really well, and I like they have bigger guards. So I'm excited for that matchup too, Danny. I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be a barn burner.
Nemhart's little brother's on Gonzaga, right?
Yep. All the Nimbards came through Gonzaga. I think Ryan, I think all of them came through. But Andrew's little brother is pretty good. He's pretty good for sure.
Yeah, and Gonzaga is 9-1 in
They're
their
literally
last 10. They
literally.
However, Houston's 10-0 in their last 10. And so these are probably the two hottest teams in the country.
Yeah, that's why I'm
debate. Like this, that's going to be a good one. Of course,
LJ Cryer for Houston, y'all. Look out for LJ Cryer.
LJ Cryer for Houston. He's averaging 15 points per game, shooting 42% from three on 7 attempts a game.
I'm telling you, LJ Cryer he's a guy. He's a guy.
Yeah, he's a guy. One would say he's tourney made. Okay, I just went to. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a Gonzaga nerd. Okay, I went to their roster and I find former Temple Owl Khalif Battle on here. I can't believe that. I didn't know he ended up over there.
There you go.
I thought he went to Houston for whatever reason. I have no idea. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. But number 99 is nasty, Mr. Battle. I have to say.
Baller.
But now I have a reason to truly watch this game. A former Owl that I'll be hate watching for sure.
I think that'll be the best game today. In my opinion, I think that'll probably be the best one. Or that.
The second round.
Yeah, I think that'll be the best one for second round. I'm sorry. I think that'll be the best one.
No, we're good. But let's move on to our next topic of 5 players who could benefit the most from a ring. Again, all my guys are ringless. I know there are certainly guys with rings that could benefit. LeBron James could always benefit from extra jewelry. Jason Tatum could use some jewelry along with a Finals MVP. Kawhi Leonard, 3 teams, 3 chips. Ain't easy. But my guys are ringless. I don't know about these guys. I'm gonna start with. Should we all just list our 5 and then we'll debate certain guys or talk about certain guys from there?
Or go 1-1, don't matter.
Yeah, no, I'll start with my 5 then and we can move. At my 5 spot, this guy's young. There's not too much pressure, but a championship with the season he's having could be up there with some of the all-time great guards. I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's probably going to win MVP. If he caps it off with a championship as well, along with all the talk about, man, he's like our modern Kobe. You know, he moving like Kobe, and he's doing all this great stuff. He's doing it on the defensive end. I think this would be great for him. He'll be kind of like the jump that Tatum got from winning a ring. I think this will even be more amplified for SGA because he's starting to stack the first team All-NBAs. An MVP goes such a long way. That proves for at least 1 year you were the best in the association. And that's not something to be taken lightly, regardless who wins it. And he earned it. Like, absolutely. He's fighting off Nikola Jokic's best season ever. You got to be special. And I think a ring would make this season extra special.
Yeah. I got Shai on my list, too. I had him on my list. I think, like, to your point, I think if he gets a ring, it'll come with the Finals MVP and probably a Western Conference Finals. Like, it'll be a lot of stacked jury in one season. He could have damn near one of the best seasons, like trophy-wise, accomplishment-wise, if he's able to get all that done. So I think that would boost him up to probably top 2 in the NBA. If he's already not there, in most people's eyes, he'd probably be top 2 with Jokic at that point. So, yeah, I think Shai benefits greatly from this. And it would be like not a carry job, but it'd be like a Dirk style thing. Like, you know, he gets a championship where he's obviously the guy. You got really good surrounding pieces, but not another superstar. I think that'd be Dirk-esque championship. I think it will hold a lot of weight.
Yeah, I like that. Danny, who's in your 5th spot?
James Harden.
Oh, I like that. James is also on my list.
Same.
Yeah, I think they win. I think he has to be important. This guy's Hall of Famer. It's really the only thing he doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Chris, I have to ask because D-Wade is a Chicago kid. Do y'all go to bat for Dwayne Wade like some of the other guys, or?
I want y'all to know D-Wade is a Robbins kid. He's from Robbins, Illinois, which is a little suburb right outside Chicago. So we claim D-Wade when he does good stuff. We don't have to. No, I'm just kidding.
That's crazy.
but yeah, we do like D-Wade. D-Wade's cool, and I think for me, D-Wade's 3rd best shooting guard of all time. I think it's Mike, Coale, D-Wade. James Harden get a championship. We'll have some conversations.
That's where we got to start talking.
We'll have some conversations. But I think it still be D-Wade. I'm still giving the edge because he got the Finals MVP. I would still give him the edge. But the conversation will be had. And that's why I want James on my list too. So I'll just get my spit about James. I want James to win one because I want him to get that respect as solidified top 4. Like solidified. You could put him 3rd or 4th. He should be solidified, ring or without ring. But I think this stamps him in that category. So I want him to get one. I'm a huge James Harden guy. And I think his 35, 8 and 11 seasons were really pissed on because they were saying he was ball hogging or foul baiting, whatever the case may be. But I think history will be kind to James Harden. And I think a championship would help it even be more kind. So,
yeah, I agree. Let's move on to the next players on our list. I'll at number 4, and this one is a really more just about an entire greatness of a basketball career. I had Jalen Brunson. This is a guy who really let's put it kind of similar to Al Horford in a way, an absolute winner in college with the best of them. Al Horford for a very, very long time just could not get a championship. Jalen Brunson with you know the national championships in college, an NBA ring, and on top of that, it would be that $100 million you willingly lost to upgrade this team. If you win a championship, it's all worth it. Immediately, it's all worth it because that's what you did it for. And I would be completely honest, a ring with the NCAA career, if Jalen Brunson puts you together 2, 3, honestly, I would just say 2 great seasons. I think he's I think he would be put in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Yeah, I think this does a great number for his career if he could cap off this season with a ring.
I agree. I can go next.
Yeah, go ahead. Who's your 4?
The next person. Jalen Brunson can technically be claimed for Chicago too, because he was in a little farther Illinois. So when Jalen Brunson does good, we're claiming him as well.
Well, we're gonna claim him. Well, we'll claim him as a Philly guy, but
Yeah.
we don't claim Villanova as a Philly school. But we'll take Brunson, DiVincenzo, Bridges, and Hart, and everyone else can kick rocks.
Cook. So yeah, the next one I have on my list, I have Jimmy Butler.
I have him on my list as well.
I think Jimmy getting a ring is it's just satisfying for Jimmy. And if he gets a ring, that means Curry gets a ring too. So that's a double W for everybody who hates LeBron. So then
I was like, you have 5 of them.
Yeah, so I think Jimmy getting a ring too. It'd be a big FU to the Heat because he got them to the finals with nothing. And then he goes to a team that has something and gets a ring. I think that'd be really good. And I think that would kind of solidify Jimmy's Hall of Fame. I think he makes it. I think you look back at those finals runs, I think you do those things. I think he made squeak his way into the Hall. So I think it's just like a career altering thing for Jimmy. It's like solidifies him being however he was, saying whatever he was, doing whatever he was doing. It solidifies all of that. And I think it like makes it okay. And I think that he would benefit greatly from it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Yeah. It's kind of ironic because my 4th spot is actually Steph Curry.
Oh, I mean, 5 of them things. Yeah.
Assuming it comes with a MVP in the finals, he's a bona fide top 10 player of all time.
I'd have to agree.
So
I already have him top 10.
That's a pure. You might already have him top 10. This might boost him to top 8.
See, I always said I don't know what it because well, this isn't really all time. Well, this is all time positional rankings for people saying putting him over Magic, and it's like, well, in my eyes, Magic is top 5. I don't know if I have an argument for Curry being a top 5 player of all time, but I was like, if I could put him above Magic, he'd have to win me like another championship and an MVP. But I don't know. Maybe we could do it. Maybe we can, look back, change some things. But I think Curry would benefit most certainly. He had 5 rings, 2 Finals MVPs. I have a guy in my top 5 who has that, but he also has a gajillion points. And Kobe Bryant. So I think that's a good 4. I like that one. Let's move on to 3. My number 3, I had Luka Doncic for an all-time revenge season. I mean, if he they lose last year to an all-time great Celtic squad. Everyone, you were averaging 30 a game in the finals, but they look and point at you. You're like, you are a legit traffic cone out there, and you're the reason they lost, even though you're the only source of offense they had. That would make you set, and then you get traded. To this Lakers team. If you were to spin it all around, the moment you got out of Dallas, you were able to get over the hump, and you would help LeBron get his 5th, so you would be good in everyone's eyes for life. It would be huge. And mind you, I already believe he's a basketball Hall of Famer for what he did, in his first couple seasons in the NBA alongside his EuroLeague stuff. One of the great EuroLeague players at like 17, 18 years old. He was great. But I think a ring would and you win a ring in a Lakers jersey, it is different. I have to admit, when you win it for a Celtics team, a Lakers team, Yankees, it's just different. You are one of the greats of the greatest. So that would automatically, in my eyes, stamp Luka. I think we're talking a top 50 player all time with a ring automatically, and he has 5 consecutive first team All NBAs. He just got to stay the course, and we're easily looking at a top 30 player of all time. Some MVPs would put him even higher, but those are hard to come by because Jokic is very selfish.
He'll be sharing the league with Jason Tatum and Shai and all these other players that are just getting better victors in this league. So those MVPs are going to count. Whoever gets MVPs.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah, those are going to be huge.
Because you're fighting Shai, Tatum, Jokic, Luka, Anthony Edwards. Like you're fighting legendary type of players as far as archetype. So those are going to mean something.
Mm-hmm. And we'll be there.
Oh yeah,
we'll be there. So who's at your 3, Chris?
I think we said James. James and Jimmy have been mentioned. Shay's been mentioned. So I'll do my next one. I think I have Jokic on my list. I think Jokic benefits. I think he's already top 5 centers, I'd say, of all time, around there. Another championship. He's in that top 3, probably. Shaq, Kareem, Will, or he's in that conversation. I think this moves him up, and I think it makes that conversation more uncomfortable for the best center, or like as he keeps going, because he's not done. He's gonna have more triple double seasons. Gonna probably have the most assists for any center of all time. He's gonna have a lot of things that really matter. I think it makes him be in a conversation that people would be scared to put him in. Like he's gonna be in some uncomfortable rooms to where you have to put somebody out your top 3 at that point. You got to put somebody out. It's gonna be hard, but you got to pick somebody, and that's why I think it'll make the conversation around Jokic even more interesting.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think a lot of people in the center conversation, at the very least, it's like I think people feel really uncomfortable just because he's not as dominant as a defender as a Bill Russell, as a Hakeem, a Will, a prime Shaq. But
Also, a second
to
round
be entire
doing this, that's what makes it cool to me. He's also a second round pick who will have
he's a second round pick, and he's a legit anomaly.
Legit.
Like a someone who can score, pass the ball. I mean, I can say this without I can say this with my entire chest. Greatest offensive peak for a center ever as a scorer, passer, just a complete offensive player. I would say good shooter. Can't say enough good things about him. But Danny, who'd you have at your 3?
Yeah, my 3 is Shai. I'm not going to take too long to explain why. You guys already said a lot of reasons. I think Shai really benefits from winning a ring more than a lot of people, and kind of cements itself in NBA history. So,
yeah, and then I won't take too much time on my 2. I have Jimmy Butler here, because it is not for my top 2 guys here. It's not like they're rotting away, winning a ring. It's not like they're fading into the abyss, and snatching a ring while averaging 8 points a game. No, Jimmy Butler is the second best player on this team, and he's turned the Warriors around. He's gotten the most out of Draymond Green and Steph Curry. So he's at my 2. It would be a big middle finger to Miami, which I would personally love. But you helping Mr. Curry win a ring would be a bad day on Twitter. So I don't hope it happens, but could definitely see it happen. Chris, who did you have next up?
I think y'all pretty much said we said James, Jimmy,
Yep.
Shai. The last one I had was Joker, so I'll just say my last one, then let y'all take over. So my last one was Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell, I think, benefits damn near the most on my list from getting a ring. I think for one, that shooting guard, that best shooting guard in the league is kind of open. The 3 is probably Book and Donovan Mitchell, but your orders, they can vary. I think Donovan Mitchell gets a ring with this team, probably gets a Finals MVP. He's won at that point in time. Then he probably creeps up into that top 10 because at that point, all NBA type of season, go get the Finals MVP. Go get the MVP. Go get the championship. I think that solidifies him as the best shooting guard. And I think it just kind of puts Donovan Mitchell back on people's radar. Like people loved Donovan Mitchell when he was on the Jazz, just scoring a bunch of points, not amounting to nothing. I think they've kind of like forgotten about how good he can be because he's on a team with better players. So I think getting that ring would kind of remind people who Donovan Mitchell really is and put him in that top 10 combo, which I think rightfully deserved talent-wise. So
that's my exact 2 as well. Donovan Mitchell, if he wins the championship, just say a lot.
Yeah, I definitely consider Donovan Mitchell for sure, and he would. Yeah, I like Chris said, best shooting guard in the game if he gets it done, and you can already argue it without the championship.
Yep.
At my 1 though, I did have James Harden. I wanted to actually save my spill a little bit, kind of related to the D Wade conversation. And again, it's not like James Harden is fading into the abyss, getting this ring. No, he's the best player on his team. He's the best player on this Clippers team. And if he were to lead this team to a championship, sure, it's not Houston Harden where he's getting 36 a game, getting his over-under line set to 52.5. No, but this is the best team ball that he's ever played, and he's playing within a system. The efficiency isn't great, but they're asking him to still shoot it because we know how lethal you can be. A ring and him being the best player, a potential Finals MVP. not only closes that gap between him and D Wade, but I truly would sit long and hard about who I think is better. Because for a long time, I'm like, oh, he's never going to pass D Wade. Like, no way. But this longevity is real, real scary. The longevity needs to be talked about in the same way we talk about, maybe he's not as good as Curry is, but, with the way James Harden plays and how he's played for a long time, the fact that his body is holding up needs lots of credit. So he wins a ring, and the beard will be in a lot of great combos as he should be.
James Harden has been so great in his career. People kind of downplay how he's reinvented himself multiple times. Like, this is just a reiteration of Brooklyn Harden when he got there and was playing point guard instead of two. Like, yes, James Harden showed he can show you 35 points a game, but now he showed he can give you a double-double every night, making Zubac an even better player. Like his longevity, as you said, and his ability to be a chameleon wherever he's been. Because at first he was a system, now he's been a part of things where he's changed and been different guys. I think that's got to be shown love for James Harden too, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And might take you as a surprise here, because what I haven't won, but it's actually Damian Lillard. I think Lillard is if the Bucks win a ring, damn good.
That's a great one, Danny. I didn't even think about Dame. Dang,
yeah,
that's a
and it kind of because there are a lot of guys who are like cool with, and Damian Lillard almost seemed like one of these dudes cool with just sitting on a bad team and rotting away without the ring, just piling up the stats, the All NBA teams. But to willingly going to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and then taking a backseat. You're not the number one guy anymore. You got to play off Giannis. You got to figure it out. And it hasn't necessarily been great as a pairing. They're still winning games and they're great, but the duo itself has not been maximized, I feel like. But if they can win a championship, who cares about any of that? So Damian Lillard, another guy who I think will be remembered in a similar light to another Blazer great in Drexler, where it's like, yeah, like he played in Jordan's era, so he's not necessarily the flashiest guy. But damn it, he was real good. And Damian Lillard is going to be that for Steph Curry for a long time.
And then you know what you've got to mention? If he wins the championship, that means he carried Darvin Ham and Doc Rivers too. That's
even better.
Him and Giannis enter the top 20.
That means something.
Giannis enters top 15 and Dame enters top 25.
That means something. You can take Ham pockets and Doc Rivers to yeah, that means something. You're right, Danny. Actually, damn it, Dame's on one of my lists too, because that is
there's so many ringless guys that could truly benefit from just winning a championship, and not even in a toxic ring culture way, but it's just like history treats you better when you've won a championship. When you
Dan Marino is probably a top 5 quarterback all time, but he doesn't have a ring.
Oh, Marino?
I forgot he didn't have one.
Yeah, Marino, like, if we're just talking about who is the best, he might be top 3. Like he was so ahead of his time. Like, and you could just drop his film in some better quality, and you just think he's a quarterback today.
Wow,
he's got the fast release. The stats are great. It's a shame that the only Super Bowl he ever went to, he ran into Joe Montana. So
basically, Dan Marino is Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley.
I would truly. Who's the best ringless player of all time?
Chris Paul.
I think I like better than Chris Paul. I think
one of those guys.
All the time.
Well, I guess Allen Iverson is a little bit more comparable because the one finals he went to, he ran into like 2 of the 7 best players to ever walk the earth. It's like, oh my God.
Then you just brought that up, Danny. I didn't realize that Dan Marino has 0 rings. Wow.
Marino ran into Montana and Jerry Rice. They jumped him.
Imagine.
There's no other choice. He was too good. He was too good. They had to jump him.
Imagine finally make one. It's like, oh yeah, we going against Kobe and Shaq. Wow, they legit went against Kobe and Shaq.
Yes, they went against the football version of Kobe and Shaq back in the day.
I'm not trying to laugh, but that sucks.
Dude, it's horrible. It's like same thing happened to the '94 Chargers. Great team, phenomenal team. They ran into Steve Young, who's been getting 5 years of crap about how he'll never be Joe Montana. So you can imagine how mad he was. And it was also Jerry Rice, who had to deal with Deion Sanders on his team for an entire year. So I bet you can imagine how excited he was to play his final game with Deion, which is hilarious. I can't believe not only were they on the same team, but they still didn't like each other after being on the same team. It was great.
Crazy.
That is real beef. Bring that back.
Yeah. Hey, y'all know something? My fault. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking when we were talking about like who benefit from rings. Y'all want to know the craziest story? The Suns are in 10th right now. Nobody wants to see them in a play-in game. Like, imagine they do get to 7 and they don't play the Thunder and they play the Rockets and they get past. Like, imagine KD takes them on a run. KD and Book takes them on a run. That puts KD in a bunch of conversations people don't want him in. It does. Like, imagine the Suns go get a ring. They've been good without Brad Beal.
If Kevin Durant won 2 play-in games and won the entire thing.
Do you see what I'm saying? I don't think it's impossible. I think it's very unlikely to happen. But they've been 6-3.
I would genuinely put him over Tim Duncan. I'm not bullshitting. If he did that with this horrible team, this would be the greatest carry job of all time. Even though he is another like damn near top 10 player on his team, greatest carry job of all time because his team's horrible. His coach is horrible. This Western Conference is a bloodbath.
Yes, bro. Somebody brought it up to me, and I was like, you know what? That would be insane. And like
the most unfortunate thing about it all is they will lose to Zach LaVine in that first play-in game, though.
Oh yeah, the King Zach LaVine and DeRozan, the Bulls.
Those two don't play. They don't play about the play-in champs.
Please, Trae Young or Zach LaVine and DeRozan in front of you in the play-in game. Just pack your things. You're going home. Those three, you're going home.
Because who do they play? They played the Raptors, and LaVine dropped like 44. He was ridiculous.
He loves play-in game. Hates the playoffs.
As the West stands right now, if they were to be able to capture,
I think they're 10, right? They're tied with 10, right?
They're 10. So the best they could get is the 8th seed. They would have to play the Thunder, and I'm afraid the Thunder are rolling them.
What cinema is that, though? Suns beat the Thunder. KD beats us up. Cinema. Not gonna happen, but would be cinema.
Crazy.
That would be real
crazy.
cinema. That would be cinema.
Oh, that would be ugly. But don't count out the Blazers. Only 2 games back.
Yeah, I want chaos in this. I want chaos. I want complete chaos in these playoffs. I want chaos.
Yeah.
Well, we saw the Heat when beat the Bucks a couple years ago, 18-1 seed.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? I want chaos like that. I want the Knicks to lose early because they're not good. Not a good team without Jalen Brunson. Not a good team. So if they lose early to I think they're slated to play the Pistons. This could be my Cade arc.
Yep, they're slated to play the Pistons, and Cade could be the next hated player in New York.
He would be Anthony Edwards. They be putting Anthony Edwards up in those crazy in the top 5 player conversation because he had a good run. Cade makes it to the second round. Dare I say Eastern Conference Finals, get spanked by the Celtics? We're having conversations.
They would. Unfortunately, if they win, they have to play the Celtics in the next round. So,
never mind. Damn it.
You know how that's going to go down.
We're assuming the Celtics beat the 7th. Okay.
Trae Young, give me nightmares.
He does.
The Hawks are 7 right now?
Yeah, they're 7.
He's getting 2 on you, right?
Hey, Danny, what'd you say that last time about the Suns? About the Clippers and Suns? Like the Clippers will get 2 games?
No, he said the Clippers would get swept, but the Hawks would get 2 games off of the Celtics. He won 1, lost 1. So I guess I got to give him credit.
I'm down. I just want Trae to get 2 games. That's it. Then guess what? He's already a Jordan athlete. Jaylen Brown wants to go back home to Atlanta. Jalen for Trae and Dyson swap. Who says no?
So how would that offense work?
Easy. Trae Young, good spot up shooter. You don't get to see it often because he has the ball in his hands all the time. Jason Tatum now becomes over usage, 32 points a game, 12 boards, 5 assists. MVP arc. Trae Young.
Jason Tatum's just a lob guy at this point.
I'm saying, like, does Drew Holiday go to the bench or something?
Yeah. You keep Derek White on the court. You keep Derek White, Trae, Jason Tatum, the Zinger, my guy Jordan Walsh. Or since you got Dyson Daniels in the trade, you put Dyson Daniels.
I hate to break it.
Danny's
I really do hate to be that guy, but I might have to give up on Jordan Walsh. Baylor Shireman is out-minning him. And he's playing good. This is the worst part.
Baylor Shireman made a couple threes. Don't worry. When you need a defender in the playoffs, when you go to Jordan Walsh, he gets a couple open dunks, y'all will be back here.
You want to talk about a guy who was really good in opportunity? Some loser named Bronny James. He was very good last night. Minus 36 is crazy, but that's not a reflection.
From the field, all I'm saying is 17, 3 and 5. Only 3 other rookies did that this year. All I'm saying, a little bit of opportunity.
3 other rookies?
No, 2 other rookies. He's the third. My fault. All I'm saying is, if Gabe Vincent have a couple bad games, throw James Jr. out there. I ain't mad.
A couple bad games. He had a bad game last night.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. That doesn't count. He was out there with Jordan Goodwin and Dalton Connect. That doesn't count. But if Gabe Vincent has a bad game with Goat James and Luke out there, go ahead and throw out James Jr. out there. Let's see what he got.
The only thing saving Bronny from people crapping on the plus minus is it wasn't the worst on the team. It was actually Shai Millen. But 89 points is nasty. So if you score 17 of your 89, inflation, he had 30.
35.
Let's just put it that way.
I doubled it. 17 times 2 to me is 34. That's how much Bronny had last night. 34, 8, and 10, if you ask me. Look like his dad.
Yeah, people are crazy. It's like when it's Bronny's turn to get some serious minutes, it's like Dalton Connect and Shai Milton turn into like greatest ball hogs of our era. But no, Bronny played really well. It's like I'm truly watching my nephew. That's what it feels like.
Every time he does anything good, I'm just.
It's like that's my family member. That's my little brother right there.
Like, he made that little pull up 2 in the lane. You'd have thought he made a game winner. I was like, yeah, let's go. I was like, wow.
Yeah, and it's like people was like, oh, they're treating him. They're treating him like a Make-A-Wish kid. It's like, no, he's just a good story. It's like, oh, what's cool about a billionaire son and nepotism?
Y'all hate him.
I'm like, he's cool, man. He's cool. And the thing is, in every arena he's in,
everybody loves
people.
Him.
You would. He's the most loved in the real world, not Twitter. In the real world, he's probably the most loved NBA player.
And I think it's halfway because of Twitter. I think a lot of reason people like Bronny as much is because they see how much hate he gets for no reason, like stuff he can't even control. Like, bro, I didn't ask to be LeBron's son. I just came out, and that's what happened. Like, I had nothing to do with that.
And his highlight of the night wasn't even a highlight. He just crossed Giannis, and he got fouled and lost the ball, but they didn't call the foul. So he cooked Giannis, though. He said he was like, he loves to say this. He said this about him and LeBron like pick up too. He was like, one could argue I got fouled.
He loves one could argue. He loves that.
One could argue. I know he's a nerd on the low, but proud of my nephew. I can't lie. Anything else before we get on out of here? A little bit of a shorter episode today, but I think it's for the best. I mean, Chris got mom Duke's coming to town. Danny's in Clearwater. I'm not really doing anything, but
it's Friday. It's Friday.
I'm probably gonna go get the dogs some treats and whatnot. I hope they didn't wake up Queen, but
I heard the change is up now. Turn. It's time.
We're good. But that's everything from us, guys. Remember, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Audio listeners, leave a like, follow, 5-star review, all the good stuff. AP New Freezer, Culture by Migos, DC Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time.